Hey guys, welcome back to the Crypto Corner. I want to pop in today and make a quick video on the current state of some of the cryptos, including Bitcoin, LITECOIN, and Ethereum. I'm here to report today that there's really not much to report on. Actually, this market is quite boring actually right now. Everything's still kind of still in this continuation pattern here. It's just kind of holding out, consolidating a little bit. Nothing really much has changed since the last video that we posted. What's really kind of interesting, or one thing to note, is that here it is. Today is February 5th, 2019, and we really have not broke much significant price action since the 28th of January, 29th of January. We've been holding this area, much like this area here. Really, honestly, for the past month, we really have not done much. We've just been kind of sideways. Now, the one thing I will say is that this Bitcoin cannot stay like this. Something has got to happen soon. So I feel like I'm beating a dead horse, and it seems like all my videos are the same. So we'll just kind of recap of what's going on. We're still in this massive downtrend that started since 2017. Okay, so we're still in this massive downtrend, making lower high after lower high after lower high. Okay, and then we fell back in November. We made another lower high back here around about Christmas time, another lower high, and we're still in this new descending channel here, and we're hugging this lower line. Now, one thing to note is that when I look at this, I see falling price action. I see, whoops, let's put this arrow where it needs to be. I see falling price action. I see falling volume. I see declining RSI. So there isn't really even any divergences from what I see on the daily chart, okay? So everything to me is showing that we are still going to be heading down. Okay, it'd be one thing if the RSI, this RSI level is pretty interesting. Let's dive into this a little bit further. So this RSI level we're currently at, we're at the 40 mark. Now, if you go back into historical Bitcoin, 40 has been a constant area of support and resistance. I mean, we can take this all the way back to 2015 even. You can see this 40 level has always been providing support and resistance, okay? Even as resistance, it comes up to this area and acts as resistance. So this 40 mark is a pretty important part. So right now, if we can get above the 40 level and hold it, then maybe we can go up on a short-term uptrend. But right now we're currently at that 40 mark, and with declining volume, I just can't see us going above it. And if we do go above it, I don't think it'll be for very long. Okay, if we saw increasing volume, I could see us making new high, making short-term higher highs, maybe even up to retest this top of the channel here. I can't hardly talk today. And maybe we can retest that if we can get above the 40 level and hold above it. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I mean, you make your own decisions, but it doesn't look good to me. So I could see us, we're chomping away at this lower trend line here. I could easily see us breaking through. Now, I again, beating a dead horse here from my previous videos, but I could see us retesting this low that we made back around December 15, December 16, this $3,100 range. We're currently at $3,400, so we could drop a couple $100 and retest this. Now, I think we probably will get a significant bounce in this area if we retest this low made back on December 18th. So I could see us coming up and testing that, and then the first hurdle that we'll fight is maybe some of these lows here, but I think this 50-day EMA is what we'll fight, which by then will probably be in the $3,400–$3,500 range. So that's the big hurdle that we'll have to fight immediately after bouncing off this. Let's hop over to LITECOIN. if you remember the last video that I made, we made a video, I think it was like the end of January, and we were at the like $29, $30 level, and I said, you know, pop was coming, and we did move up. We saw some indicators showing that we could possibly move up. We were fighting the 50-day EMA, and we popped through the 50-day EMA, and we're currently using the 50-day EMA as support. That's pretty significant. You can see we are definitely just using this as support. Okay, so the next thing that we're fighting now is this downtrend from 2017. So this downtrend here has been massive resistance for us all the way down. We briefly popped through it back here in the 1st of May of last year, but for the most part it is held as resistance all the way down, up to and including this last retest back in early January, and we bounced right off of it. So we're currently right at it right now. We are slightly above it. The current candle that we're in right now, which is this is a daily chart. The daily chart shows that we are using it as support, but again, this daily candle is not closed yet. So until we see some candles starting to close above this trend line on the daily and preferably the weekly, I'd be very cautious of it, very skeptical of this. So if you start seeing it using it as support, then okay, that's a good signal. But once again, excuse me, if you look at volume is tapering down, not looking great. Volume is better than it has been, you know, if you look at volume back in here, but it's still declining. And in the big picture of things, it's just, I don't know, guys. I mean, look at the volume back here, still very minuscule compared to what we were seeing back in through here. Okay, so I don't know. I think we could be going back down for a little bit more. I think we're going to come down and we could possibly retest the 20s area, which will follow Bitcoin. Ethereum, much the same breed of cat as Bitcoin as far as the technicals go. Really not much has changed. Again, I feel like this is I'm here to report. There's nothing to report. You know, it's all the same thing. RSI, volume, and price action are all heading down. They're all in sync with each other. So I can see us coming down to this $90, $85, $90 range that we were at. You can see we're currently at 106. So now the one thing to think about, even though I think that we probably are going to be going down to new lower lows. But if in the big picture of things, if you hop back over to Bitcoin, in the big picture of things, if you are a day trader or swing trader, this is obviously different for you. But for a lot of people who are in this for the long haul, we could be coming down and retesting possibly this level here, the $1,800 level, possibly. I made another chart the last, I think, 1 or 2 videos ago that suggested the theory that we could be coming down to the $2,700 level. That's very possible. But in the big picture of things, guys, let's look at this. If you wanted to stock up for the next bull run, which may not be for a few years, this level we're at now, $3,400, might not be a bad place to go ahead and start adding. Maybe start dollar cost averaging maybe once a week or every other week. Just start adding to your portfolio because we very well could have bottomed here. This is a very real possibility. There's nothing in the charts that suggest one way or the other that we're definitely have bottomed or we have not bottomed. When I say I think we're heading lower, this is my personal opinion. I could be wrong on this. But if you want to be on the safe side and you wanted to start dollar cost averaging in now, and you know, what if we do go a little bit lower? Well, you just add a little bit more. You know, maybe you make a deal with yourself. You tell yourself, okay, every payday I'm going to by whatever, $50 a week, or whatever the case may be, $200 a week, whatever you decide you want to do. You add to your portfolio every single week, every other week, maybe every month, and then just start adding. Because if we had told you back in January or February of 2018, hey, what if I could get you a Bitcoin for $3,400? You would have been all over it. Now we're here, and a lot of people are gun shy, like, well, I think I can get it a little bit cheaper. Well, guys, think about it back here, January, February. If someone would have offered you a Bitcoin for $3,400, you would have taken it in a heartbeat. So maybe it's not a bad idea to start dollar cost averaging in and then ride this out. Now, if and when we do make a new low, if we make a new low at the capitulation candle, we will be consolidating out for the better part of the year. My personal plan is that's what I'm planning on doing. I think we're going to capitulate. We're going to come down lower, and then once that happens, I'm going to start dollar cost averaging in for the rest of the year. But the more and more I look at these technicals, and the more and more I see how we are just kind of holding this area here, and it's providing as pretty significant support, it makes me wonder, have we bottomed? It's kind of the same question that we had back here in the $6,000 range. A lot of people were really wondering, is this the bottom? I mean, there was a lot of indicators that showed this is the bottom. But then again, we had a massive drop off. So it very well could happen. We could say, okay, this is the bottom. This is the bottom. And then all of a sudden, boom, we come all the way down to the sub 2,000 range. It's very possible. Be ready for that and be willing to accept that. That's the important thing, is if you tell yourself, okay, I'm going to dollar cost average in, then that's your plan. What's the phrase? Plan your trade, trade your plan. So if your plan is, okay, I'm going to dollar cost average in every single week, I don't care if it goes down to $1,800. I don't care if it goes down to $1,000. I'm just going to keep dollar cost averaging in. You're not going to catch the bottom. No one can catch. Very few people will catch a bottom like here. Very few people will catch that. But if you can dollar cost average in every week, by the time that we start on our next bull run, you'll be in a very good spot. So anyway, here to report, nothing to report. Kind of a boring market as of right now. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any comments or questions or would like to see something different with this channel, please, I'm all ears, and I will